Hello and welcome back, my friends. This is Hambbage, and we're ready to kick things off in another hardcore vanilla Minecraft play session. That's right, let's get this starting soon. Slide out of the way. Oh, Canada. Oh, don't want copyright. Can national anthems be copyrighted? I don't know. Alright, let's get this fired back up. We talked a lot at the end of the last episode. Like all these various things that we need to do in our world or want to do, blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of realizing it was more passing. Like, as I was getting ready to do this one, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't even remember what all we said were priorities. Hey, S'more, how you doing? We're going to say hi first. Actually, that's kind of a lie. I kind of think I have some interest. And what's up, Guava? Good to see you. You're looking good, well preened. That's what the birds do. Family of doggies. Oh, you guys are looking so great. 2 on the bed, 1 on the floor. So I'm kind of thinking one of the items that we had mentioned was the pursuit of another fortress. And I think that would be a pretty good place to start. Seems like about a good amount. So yeah, I think we're gonna spend the day in the Nether, not building, not adding glass. Hopefully not waiting for it to spawn in. No, I think we've kind of explored up high in this direction, I believe. I don't know how far we got exactly, I don't remember. But my hope is that if we do go this way for a little while, staying low, it's kind of a multi-function, right? We're going to stay on this. Don't look up when you're laying out your netherrack. We're going to hopefully come across some cool stuff, but we're also building the foundation for what eventually will be the extension of this this tunnel path, opposite cardinal directions. So, not entirely against our longer term goals, but also not really looking, and if we get out of ways, out beyond the direction we've headed in the past, and get some access to surface level, we'll just go for a run, stretch the legs, get into the wild yonder. Boy, oh boy, there's a lot of floating here. So, until we get to the excitement, what should we talk about? I have a whole lot. I have that's gonna run a bit. Now, unfortunately, I think kind of the reason we started off in the southward, or to our left direction, when we were going out to the Badlands, was, at least in old Nether generation, fortresses tended to align on north-south axes. So if you found one, there was a good chance if you headed north or south from it, you'd run into another. We're kind of doing the opposite here, but this, for one thing, kind of seems to be a natural path for us to head on. And for another. I don't know how much we're gonna have to deal with the blazes and stuff running next to the fortress. If we go right under the foot of the one and go south. I think I'm backwards. I think the Badlands are northwest of us, and the southern branch, when we do build it, will be heading out more into the ocean. If we're thinking overworld and where our base sits, way down towards the first igloo that we found on that frozen tundra, all that stuff that we've discovered by boat by crossing that big ocean. So oh, here we go. Getting to something at least. I was gonna say we're kind of running out of options and possibilities, or options. The amount of netherrack that we initially brought in here. Now, we can pop up here to kind of take a peek around. I think that's a pretty good idea, but I wanted to get beyond this floating section first, if I can, see how far this goes. And then maybe make a stair up. Now that may be counterproductive if we're now underneath a big hill. Or are we just on a little island? Let's just keep going. We're not that far from our base yet, right? We want to explore the nether, not just settle. And that should have restocked our supplies a little bit. Why am I not? Oh, because of this block. Oh, hey, this looks pretty good. We want to be a little careful here. We got this lava coming down. We do have the fire prot on our boots. I think is where the fire prot was. This is one that we're gonna want to just kind of make sure stays get out of the range of our build. So that these three here will be the base of our tunnel. This will be a wall. We just want to make sure that where it does flow down, it stays out at the wall, or ideally beyond. So that we can kind of direct it. So we're going to put one there, and then one. Nope. You need to not be here right now, dude. Okay, go on. Shoot. For anybody who's played any Stardew Valley, these guys remind me of Penny. They're just so like, or Eeyore, kind of Eeyores of the Minecraft world, I guess. All right, that's what we wanted. So now this can flow down. We can do all our wall building if we need to. We can switch stuff out, but we won't be getting wrecked. All right, I'm just warning you now, dude. Don't get stuck. Just what we needed. Another magma section, finally. That wasn't what I wanted. to do. Now, what, if anything, do we have? Kind of peeking in the corners, at least with my field of view. These corners actually cheat out a bit and show just a touch more of the distance, and in the nether with kind of the extra obscurity, that can be a big help. You know, it's really kind of something I just arrived at by accident. And I don't know if all depths of field, or whatever it is, depth of field is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this may be a big bust. Okay. How about over this way? You have a hole? Oh, here we go. You are a pig man. He's just a weirdo. But fairly harmless. Alright, let's push on. This is a bust. We could gather up the few little things, but we're looking for a fortress. And any other exciting developments out here on our path. So I don't want to turn this into exactly to a mining stream. You know, none of this is going away. The pigmen aren't going to do anything with it. How I hate you, you magma. I mean, what was it we used it for the other? Oh, the water elevator. That's right. There's one or two blocks of world that I actually appreciate you, but otherwise, you are just a pain. And it's not even that it hurts, it's really that it causes you to burn stupid food when you're otherwise uninjured, just from those little hints of hot feet. Maybe that's the last of it. Pretty good. It's kind of interesting though, having the lower level lava like that. And there's that lava fall from when we'd been touring around on the surface. Kind of knew that was coming. That one we may divert up higher. You know, at least just kind of kick out that way, but it's pretty close, so it may just be more trouble than it's worth to try to preserve. It wouldn't really be coming down over the top of us, so how do we prefer to... Come on. Get around. Pillar certainly would be a nice way to go, but with that ghast, I'm a little leery. Just don't want to get popped off an edge. I think this is up to where we need to be. Do we see the ghast? I mean, some tears would be a nice second to a fortress. Wow. Oh, you got distracted by some gold, huh? That's a shame. Alright. Should get us cleared up. Guess this was way back home. Lots of good stuff up here. So yeah, that whole falls is gonna go away. Let's put a torch there and just hope to remember eventually that. Uh-oh. Was that one just delayed? Yeah, there we go. Okay. I was like, was there a whole other lava section we missed? Just hope that reminds us that's a great place to later come back and do some quartz mining. And I was thinking off stream, I'm kind of thinking for our bait. I thought, you know, inside the tunnels maybe we'd use the quartz, but I'm actually thinking if we can slab those pieces, which I'm pretty sure we can, that making the slabs around the ice on the ground white would be a good contrast. And so maybe we'll look into that as kind of a test on some of the early stuff. Ooh, yeah. A little bit of that. Let's see if we unlock any trouble here. Alright, do we see anything? That looks like the Crimson Forest over there, the Nilium. We'll want to look kind of midway and see if... Whoa. Not too deep. At least we can reach the bottom. Alright, do we see anything out beyond those lavas? I don't. You should see me, like, peering. Peering into the corner of the screen. Times when a face cam would be awesome. But no. Nothing yet. Oh, I didn't notice the thing. I was like, just a random piece of soul sand in the middle of the lava sea, huh? Oh, yeah, crossing the lava. So I know this is just a terrible time to even think about any kind of discussion type stuff, because as soon as I start, we'll have gas or whatever, it'll take me the rest of the episode and then some to try to finish. But I don't think I'd said much yesterday. I said it was a beautiful evening. I've been out, and I actually, as first summer kind of post full-on pandemic lockdown begins, I think a lot of us, myself included, have a little bit of a pandemic paunch they got to get rid of. Paunch being that, a little bit extra padding we all acquired around the belly, finishing up all those emergency rations we bought at the store. At least in my case, that's how it went. So I try to stay active all the time, getting outside, taking walks and stuff. And certainly it's a little tougher through the winter, weather being what it is. It can't rival what I've been experiencing here these last couple days in terms of just gorgeous weather. But it's, I think everybody, if you don't, look at it, spring is an opportunity, kind of fresh start. Everybody's kind of thinking like, hey, I might be swimming in a pool at some point. Maybe out on a boat. Maybe time to just put in a little bit more effort. So I've been ratcheting things up. I just redid a workout route I kind of set up a couple of years ago. I think I mentioned before, I'm very fortunate. I live on a creek, and off in the distance, there's a pretty good sized hill. And not, I know folks that know I live in Colorado, like, oh, right up the mountains. No, this is just out, in kind of suburbia. And, but it's a hill of about, and I don't know exactly, I was kind of hoping it would say it, and I have like an Apple Watch to kind of help track stuff, and sometimes I'll use like the USA Track and Field, map my route, map my runs for mileage stuff if I don't know, but I don't have a very good altimeter. I used to use a handheld GPS radio. I don't know why I'm crouching. That would help map like ski runs and stuff like that, and it did have altimeter built in, which was really cool. I love having that elevation. I can, from just a basic iPhone, iWatch pairing, whatever, you can actually it tells you your elevation gain over the course of a walk or run or whatever you're doing with it, or bike ride. But it doesn't then afterwards make it real accessible to see what the heights were and what the low points were. That it even know, it may just be measuring change from start, which even that would be cool. If afterwards it kind of showed you a vertical representation. It shows you like your heart rate and all that, and you can actually, because it's GPS enabled, you can pull up kind of the map of where you went. So it's got all that stuff. It just doesn't, at least in the base, free tool that I use, give you that visual representation. So I'm a little bummed about that, but no biggie. But anyway, around my neighborhood, I certainly have favored routes, things that I've grown accustomed to, and I kind of know their mileage, the time it's going to take me, some of those kind of attributes as I go. And one of those is what I call the hill, and it does climb up this this about 100-foot hill. I'm guessing, based off the total change in elevation when I go on various walks. So, about 100 feet of elevation gain in the course of a mile and a quarter. If I walk it, with the kind of start looping around where I live and then immediately go up the hill. So very good. When I get up to the top of this, I've gone a mile and a quarter, and I have gained 100 feet of elevation, and it's a really good heart rate workout. No matter what you're doing in terms of fitness, it makes. Let's see if we can do this without overflowing. And I think we have just enough to cap that without it dripping on our heads. Not that the drips will hurt us or anything, but that's kind of nice. So yeah, I have loved, it's one of the parts about where I live that I absolutely love. Having this mile course to push myself up a hill. It's really, really good for just getting quick, relatively lightweight, but effective workouts in. And it's beautiful too. This time of year, a lot of the just along the boulevard, because it kind of just it's a sidewalk up a 2-lane road, and that has boulevard trees along either side between the sidewalks and all that. So it's a nice place to walk, and between the yards on one side and then these boulevard trees, a lot of which are crab apples and apples, and have largely finished now. But, it's just nice this time of year to be able to go up that. So I walk that pretty regularly. It's a nice little stroll. Well, yesterday it was beautiful out, as I've said a couple times, I think. And I was like, yeah, I think this is a good afternoon. To kind of take it on to more serious level again for the summer. And so I did what I've affectionately called for myself the meat grinder. And that is when you go up this hill, and there's a stop sign at the road kind of tees at the top of it. So I have to go all the way up to the stop sign. And then I have to go back down just 15 yards or so to where that's one way to do it, I guess. I don't know if those are even doing anything. But the netherrack doesn't fall. So I go up this hill, get to the top where the road that it runs parallel to tees into another road. And that road then either continue, and this gets pretty close to the main highway between Denver and Boulder, if you look on a map. So there's a main highway there. It's called US 36. And it runs largely east-west, but it kind of feels north-south at times. Anyway, the road that tees bridges across that. It's not like an interchange or anything. It just has a bridge that goes over the top. And underneath it, there's an underpass, which I walk through. And that connects to a multi-use trail system that goes all the way between Denver and Boulder. And if I follow that to the west, I eventually descend back down to a little footbridge that goes over the same creek that I live along, in just a little bit of extra mileage. So I can basically climb the hill, turn around, descend the hill to a little footbridge, which is maybe a half mile if I just walk straight on the trail from where I live. Maybe just a hair more than that. I don't know. It's not too far. But then instead of just taking the quick route home, I have to then turn around at the footbridge and go back up the hill to touch the stop sign again. And then I can return back home on just the basic hill walk route that I always, the 1.25 mile hill. So I've basically done a little, I don't know, dog bone shaped route where I go to each end and then come back up, and it makes a pretty good one. And then there's along that there's a little dirt turnoff that's about a yeah, that's unexpected. I didn't. How are we so much further this way? What a waste. We go out that way when we leave our base, and then we turn and should be running parallel to this. So when or what or how? I mean, I think this is going to go to our Badlands, right? Here we are right at the Bastion. But we only turn once. This doesn't make any sense. I'm so baffled. What am I missing here, people? You gotta help me out. This is the second direction that we head after we turn on our main road. So why is it intersecting after one turn on our original? We didn't accidentally turn this thing, did we? We're heading south. Did we accidentally turn? Come on. I'm very confused. This is a shame, though. I was really hoping to get out into the distance. Okay. Sounded painful. I mean, I guess we don't need to look at that the whole way. I mean, I just don't understand how we didn't make a U in getting to the Badlands, so we must have turned this thing. And I certainly didn't intend to. I just can't imagine where that happened. But other than being a quartz mining access, Seems like kind of a big waste. We don't need any of that. We turned right here? Are you kidding? How? What? Facepalm. What on earth? Well, that explains it. At least I'm not crazy on how we got to the Badlands, but how did I ever? Wow. Wow. Well, we're back. Let's go empty our pockets. I'm not too apologetic. We did what we set out to do. We got some access to some quartz and all that, but man, bad news if you don't know where you're going. That's nothing but trouble. Alright, let's go. I think we keep talking about how we still need a grindstone down here too, right? Oh, you hear that cooking? How are we doing over here? A glass. That's good. Good extra glass. No. Oh yeah, we wanted to make a grindstone. We should have some of these extra parts outside. Hey, S'more, sorry, I really didn't think we'd be back, but here we are. It's good to see you, though. It's a bonus. That makes up for all the waste. Man. Oh, now we got too much stuff. Alright. I don't know what that particle is every time I go down the ladder. Hey, guys. Alright, go on. So anyway, I was already distracted by the time I started talking about my walk, so I can continue. That wasn't the problem. So I can add this this little extra. It's about a half mile each way, I think, dirt section onto my meat grinder walk, which is basically just a double hill, climbing the same hill from two different directions in one walk, and that makes about a 5.5 mile walk, and gives you about 250 feet of elevation gain in the course of the walk. Pretty good. Sand. So I enjoy getting some of that on. We didn't really gain too much out of all this. We'll just dump both of these. Alright, and we're back. But I do like having that kind of length, and it's a especially right now since I haven't been doing a lot, it's a good workout. These are both directions. It's a mile, if not a little bit more, of just constant uphill when you're going on there, and then you get to recover going down, of course. But yeah, you earn it, and right now, I kind of go in the 15 to just over 16-minute miles. It's the first time I'd do lots of walks, and honestly, I dusted off my my iWatch for the first time in like over a year. Didn't really use it much in the pandemic, so it's kind of good to see these things back out, and it definitely, it's not the greatest tool. I like what it tries to do, but aside from kind of being a reminder of what you should be doing, it's not the end all and be all. But I do like that it's tied into my phone. I don't have to carry my phone when I'm out walking. I can still see messages come in. You can kind of try to answer phone calls. It doesn't work real well though. So in my just the mic trying to talk into your wrist as you're out there. There's lots of wind noise and stuff. From what I hear from other people, it's pretty tough to carry on the full conversation as you're going. So, but I've certainly, as I was kind of already getting fired up and like, yeah, let's kind of get summer mode, hikes and all that. Out here you can be reminded pretty quick if you haven't been true by your first hike up at elevation and climbing up some mountains where 100 feet of elevation is just getting from the parking lot to the real trailhead kind of stuff. So it's all relative, but it's fun to be able to see these kind of things and track them and see what kind of a pace you're going at. Yeah, it was just over 16 minutes on the real climbs. The 2 miles that had real climbing in them were just over 16, and the ones that were either down or recovery were kind of 15, 20s or so. And eventually I'm kind of typically a 14 and a half to 15 and a half minute walker. That's 4 miles an hour. I used to be a runner in high school type days. Certainly, I was a cross country runner, and so it's always you feel a bit like a hero, or like you're invincible when you think back to all that. And it's like, oh yeah, I can get back to there. But I really try not to jog too much. I have my right ankle. I sprained back in my cross country days pretty badly. That's a good story in and of itself. I had a different injury, and I was in recovery mode, and I was supposed to be putting in bike miles to let it was actually my left leg heal up from, it was more than just sore, but not anything too major. I didn't have to go to like a doctor or get any treatment or anything. It just needed some time to recover. And so, my coach was like, all right, well, you got a bike, use your bike while that's healing up. And it was, it's kind of one of those teenagers are sort of prone to the whole make it sound worse than it is. And I did. And a couple of us that both were nursing injuries went and played some touch football with a bunch of other friends, just at a park. We weren't just wholeheartedly dogging our practice. We had biked to this place, which was a ways off from where we were. So we'd already done some endurance work, but it was like, oh yeah, and if you can play football, you're probably healthy enough to run. But it was like too tempting. It was like a bunch of friends and all that were out at this park anyway, tossing the ball around. We're like, oh yeah, well, a couple of possessions back and forth. And this wasn't like hey, we're gonna hang out for hours or anything. It was like we were in the middle of a workout. We're young and like, wait, we got plenty of energy. Who cares that we've been biking and cruising across town to even get here. Let's throw the football around. So there was enough people that we were kind of doing the 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi pressure on the quarterback stuff, and a couple receivers out, a couple people covering, and one to rush the quarterback. I think we probably had 6 to 8 people. I can't remember exactly, but typical park football kind of stuff, and just playing touch. This wasn't tackle or anything. We were. My friend and I were both still recovering from injuries. We just were kind of, milking them a bit. So anyway, we're just supposed to be on our bikes, just getting in mileage. We're not supposed to have stopped at all. And I still remember to this day when it happened. I was rushing the quarterback and had counted my Mississippis or whatever, and came through, and somehow in somebody that was trying to set kind of a short, what would be like the equivalent of like a tight end crossing route, coming low, and the person covering him and the quarterback, as I was coming around to try to make the sack touch on the quarterback before he got rid of the ball, I stepped on somebody's ankle and just totally rolled mine. It popped and cracked and all that, and I'm not supposed to go. So we had to scramble and like come up with some convoluted, crazy. Oh, this is how it happened, because I went from I can't I can't just do a 10-mile training run on this to I can't walk. I was in bad shape. It was no good. So I kind of like the Basalt Delta. It's a cool little biome, but it's less fun than dealing with lava in the underworld, where at least you don't have these little lava slimes around. Alright, gang. Come on up. And it's got all these holes. It's kind of dangerous, especially when you're first getting started. Right now, they're not gonna wreck us too bad. We've got fire prot. We've got a lot of means to prevent this from getting too terrible, but they can knock you into a hole or something, land on top of you, and just kind of rack up the damage. So when you're early, be really careful. And they respawn like slimes, so you can't be assured that once you've dealt with them once, they're not going to come back. I just haven't really checked the time. Okay, now we may still have some pockets of lava, but anything now I think we can deal with. Just want to get that lake framed off. And this is a few times as I've been like sorting out the blackstone and sorting inventory, I've said, a lot of worlds I end up with more basalt than blackstone. And when you're tunneling through these in particular, or if you're doing some kind of hub type setup in the midst of a basalt delta, you may really end up with stacks and stacks and stacks of this stuff. So not a bad idea to clear out the gravel where we can. Lots of gravel in this stuff. Unfortunately, I can't recall having ever seen a fortress in the midst of this stuff. I don't think they're particularly likely, and also this is one spot where where you don't necessarily want to be exposed, because those lava slimes will drop down on your head. They'll still come from the side. You don't hear them moving in the lava, which is We may take a bath here and there. Again, we're okay. We're well equipped to deal with it. They're fast when they go. So just come back, get the food. We should probably... Well, let's just switch out. Hi! I'm gonna eat this real quick. Now, these guys aren't too bad. It's just that, getting mobbed by them as they approach and then knocked into the lava. Quite a kerfuffle. Or it can be. Hi. Let's get you. Oh. I don't like their sounds. They all sound like they're like right on top of you from another direction. Oh, you guys can't climb up there? Well, here, let me help. Now you... Well, you're stuck too. This is kind of the challenge of this whole environment, is it's just pockmarketed with these little holes, and it's really easy to get stuck. It's really easy for them to bounce over the tops of them and not get stuck. Act safe. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Second phone call in the middle of an hour stream, and with somebody I'm expecting to hang out with this evening was required at least just a acknowledgement, like, "Hey, sorry, let me get back to you in a second." And then it's like, "Oh yeah, no problem. Hey, what's going on?" Like, no, really, listen, I got people waiting. Not that you guys are waiting in real time or anything, but, I mean, it's just kind of rude. But, again, if, it's kind of my Thursday challenge. Thursday is kind of the do stuff out and about evening kind of time. So, sometimes weekends and all that stuff, too. It certainly isn't exclusive, but it's kind of a regular, and you know, if I'm on it and get the streams and stuff done early, then there's no bother. But it's just about 1:30 here, and that's kind of the start figuring out the next few hours type time. So again, my apologies. I'm sorry it got interrupted there. I think we will though take a break at about an hour. I think when I came back it was like 53 minutes. So let's see if we can get through this biome maybe, and then I'll try to take a break and kind of lock everything down, and then we'll maybe get one more done here before I head out for the afternoon and evening. Break's gonna be a little bit. So as the whole point of my sprained ankle story, you know, before I even got to any of that, was I'd done this what I call meat grinder, a dirty meat grinder, which means that instead of just taking the multi-use trail, I go on the dirt tracked extra half-mile each way expansion loop on the far side, and had done all that, and it was kind of surprising. I was aware, certainly, that you know, I was doing more than I had recently, and should be kind of conscious of that. But I was, so I, you know, around the stream and stuff last evening, I took a few just stroll, kind of cool down equivalent walks. Again, not running, so you're not really recovering your heart and all that so much as just enjoying the evening a little bit, but making sure you keep your legs moving a little bit so they don't stiffen up and get too terribly sore. So that was kind of what I was working on or doing last evening, and really, you know, surprisingly felt pretty good this morning, but I didn't sleep very well last night. It was weird. It was as if I had done a bit more than I'd really expected, and not like in a I worked out so hard kind of deal. Just, you know, I think it's kind of at that point where it's like, oh yeah, everything's kind of getting back into, you know, real shape legs wise. I still got some padding, but that'll go in time. Not worried about it, but yeah, you know, as the legs kind of go, it was just like, hey, you know, you'd wake up and kind of just feel one part of something was like just a little off, and then another. So, well, I hope to get better sleep tomorrow. And again, I still don't know how much of my moon attempt was a part of it, but we'll see. So as a result of that, I kind of not pushing the hard push walks and stuff today on my breaks. Just kind of lots of getting out there, a couple of miles at a time, or even less on breaks. Breaks are about a half hour. I'm sorry, a half mile, which is, you know, again, about, depending on how I'm walking them. So we must have an invisible block here. Something's not right. Something's still not right. There. It's always something when you see that little shimmery thing. Um, so yeah, just trying to make sure I do get consistently out and moving on my breaks. Every hour or so go, just take a quick half-hour little loop around the property. Whether you're doing big stuff or not, that is such a great thing to do. If you can, if your work allows you to do it, where you can go take a quick walk on a break. If you've done any kind of workout in the morning, it'll actually keep your heart rate going all day. You're resting and everything. If you can just continue to kind of give a little bit of activity throughout the day, that is so beneficial. So that's again why I'm not shy about encouraging people to try to get out there, see nature just by taking quick little strolls. It don't have to be big walks, but sometimes like yesterday for me, it's fun to go out and push and feel good sweat. It was a little bit more humid than it has been recently, so it was starting to feel more summery, and really pretty good prep, I think, for mountain hikes to come and some of that kind of stuff here in the summer. Now that we can go do those, that was kind of the only like adventure type stuff or getting out that I had done over the recent times. I saw something drop there. This is almost worse than Lava Lake. Oh, hey, we got it though. Beautiful tier. I take it all back. Easy place to pick up a lot like gas tiers. Okay, now what I have to be careful of is that I'm not going to run super long. Now that I've said, oh yeah, we're about an hour. I really would like to keep these a little closer to that end than the 2-hour end of the spectrum. We'll see it, all subject to my own whims and... Hey! What was I saying about never being sure if fortresses could come in the Basalt Delta? Thanks for showing me, game. Well, that makes it perfect. Let's stop right here. I'm gonna take a break. I hope you guys do too. Let's go ahead and save and get back out to the take for C. I love it when they listen to me and reinforce. Take a nice break, just like I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna call back my friends, try to knock down all the plans so there's no more interruptions. We're gonna I'll probably get a little lunchy snack too, and then come back and do another one of these. We'll try to get into that fortress and see if it will be conducive to a nice wither hunting setup. So take care. I'll see you next time. Get outside if you can between this one and the next one. 10, 15 minutes of standing up, moving around, whether it's indoor or outdoor. I always say outdoor because you get to see the world, but whatever you got, just something to keep yourself moving, keep that blood pumping, and I'll be here for you when you get done. So take care of yourselves, take care of somebody else, and stay awesome till next time. Bye now.